Welcome to the Patriots Report, part of the Believe Network presented by FanDuel. My name is Christopher Price, the Boston Globe and bostonglobe.com. Joined as always by my podcast partner, two-time Super Bowl champion, Chris Hogan. Chris, once again, like we all thought back in July, the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. Look, man, I think this is going to go down.
And there's on it. The two of us. We should have put something. Vegas, we got to look back at Vegas odds in August.
We do.
For New England to make it to the Super Bowl. And we would have, I think we would have made some serious
we would have cleaned up. Cleaned up, man. Look, I know that there's some recency bias here involved, and maybe we can talk about that, but I think this is going to go down as one of the most remarkable seasons in New England sports history, not just the Patriots. Yeah. Because no one saw this coming. You can compare it to, we were kicking this around last night in the press box, the 2001 team, which certainly came out of nowhere with Tom and Bill and the rest of them winning the Super Bowl. The 1967 Red Sox, who also came out of nowhere. But I don't know, at least when you talk about the modern era, the last 20 or so years, the 21st century, this is, for me, this is the most remarkable sports story that I've ever had the chance to cover.
Yes, I got some chances to do some things that have never been done before. I was hearing the other day, I don't think a player, coach has ever won a Super Bowl that's also played in a Super Bowl that's won a Super Bowl. So he's got a chance to do something pretty special. I mean, everyone outside of New England is going to be making up as many stories and coming at this team and the season and who we've played and strength of schedule. But the reality is there's only two teams left. We're one of the two that are playing in February. I don't really care what you say. We had a brand new coach, new coaching staff, cleaned house. There's not a single guy left on this roster other than Drake Maye. And 17-3, going to a Super Bowl. Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL. You got a bunch of misfit guys on defense, other than, you got Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis. I mean, it's just, listen, man, it's honestly, and I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, this has already been a successful season, but it's great that they were able to go out to Denver, something that a couple other guys, weren't able to do, on the road in Denver, weren't able to get it done. So happy for them. I mean, it wasn't a overwhelmingly exciting game, but we're going back for a Super Bowl, man. I mean, we could talk about that, whatever, but gosh, it really is. It's incredible. This team has just battled all year round, and they've just overcome everything and blocked out all the noise and just kept winning.
Well, they get a chance to squash the strength of schedule narrative, I think, now, because they defeated 3 of, I believe, the top 8 defenses in the league. Yeah. Over the last 3 weeks throughout this postseason. They'll say, well, they didn't play anyone good. They didn't play any playoff teams. They ran the gauntlet, and they came out here, like you said, they came out here to a Denver, they came out here to face a Denver team. And in Denver, this, and I heard past Patriots say this, it sucks playing in Denver.
Yeah.
It's cold. The altitude, you're dealing with one of the best home field advantages in all of football with this fan base out here. It gets incredibly loud. And yesterday you threw the elements into the mix. Yeah. And still they found a way to stay mentally resilient. The biggest takeaway that I don't think people are talking about enough today is that they played a clean game. They didn't turn the ball over in those conditions. And that really says something about the mental and physical toughness of this group in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think it kind of went the way that I expected this game to go. I think it was just going to be a defensive battle. You saw it all game long. I mean, Denver's defense is very good. Our defense is very good. I mean, no one could run the ball. We couldn't really pass the ball effectively. It didn't seem like our game plan here was any, I know we threw in the flea flicker there to kind of come up with a big play, but I don't really think that there was much like, hey, we're going to do what we do well. We're going to take care of the football. We're going to play good defense. We're going to, special teams, let's do well in the kicking game. And I think that we're not going to try to blow this team out regardless of who they have at quarterback. And let's just see what we can do there. And I think that's kind of, it just seemed like that's what we got up. We got a lead. Josh he wasn't calling anything down the field. Obviously, the elements came into play. I mean, the ball was not going to be in the air no matter what. But we did, like you said, we took care of the football. We got, a touchdown on the board. We got a field goal on the board, right? And then after that, it was our defense just kind of that was won by our defense. Let's just call it what it is, right? I mean, I don't care who they had at quarterback or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like that, our defense got after them all day long. Sean didn't have an answer for really any of our pressures. I give credit to Stiddy. I guess that's what people are calling him. And we go 3-and-out. I think we went 3-and-out, and then all of a sudden he gets the ball, completes the pass, and then drops a post over Christian. I'm like, this is not what we needed. I was like, and then after that, it was just an easy pitch and catch in the end zone. I was like, this might be a long game. If you give this kid a little bit of confidence, and all of a sudden, like, he's been in the league since 2018, and everyone speaks highly of him. Sean spoke highly of him as a player. So I think he did exactly what everyone expected him to do. And then obviously it stinks, man. I mean, especially, God, I didn't even know what's yard they were on the field at one point. You're looking at it on television. I mean, they finally got the blowers out so you could see where they were, but the conditions just got a little crazy at the end, and
it came up like fast. That too. It came fast. It really did. It rolled in really quickly. I think going back and rewatching the game last night, they had CBS showed a shot of the field at halftime. Mm-hmm. And there was nothing on the field. And then literally middle of the third quarter, it was all of a sudden.
Whiteout. Yeah. Complete whiteout.
You ever played in a game like that?
I played when I was in Buffalo. I played against, I want to say it was Cincinnati, but not like that. We played it was kind of like that, they have the lake effect snow. So it kind of comes out of nowhere, but it wasn't anything like that. I mean, that snow yesterday looked blinding. I mean, it didn't seem like you could see anything. Affected everything, right? I mean, 2 missed field goals. One was blocked. Shout out to our what's the kid's name?
LT Leonard Taylor.
Leonard Taylor brought up off the practice squad like last night or the night before the game. And I don't know if anyone saw it. Or probably live they didn't see it, but when they slowed it down on film or on the TV, he blocked it. He got a hand in there. Right, that's the game tying field goal that they were going down there, and Leonard Taylor, practice squad, sending the Patriots to the Super Bowl. Let's put that in front of the Boston Globe, Let's put that. That's the news. That should be the fingertips, right? It should be him reaching up and hitting the ball. Send Leonard Taylor, the unknown hero, sending the Pats back.
That's one of the things too that Vrabel has tried to kind of pound into our heads over the course of the year. That look, it's going to take all 53.
Yeah.
And yesterday was a really good example of that with Leonard Taylor being able to come through in a very big moment, to be able to get his hand, to be able to get his fingertips on that field goal and make that play. Another guy who came up big, wasn't a big surprise, but his ability to impact the game after such an extended time away, Mack Hollins.
I know.
He's on the shelf for 4 games with the abdomen injury he sustained in late December, game against the Ravens. Was on injured reserve. There was a question as to whether or not he'd be able to come back. And if he came back, if he had any kind of impact at all. But he was the guy for me. He's on the short list of guys. We're in the press box kind of running down, okay, who do we want to write about in this game? Mm-hmm. He was on the short list of guys. And to be able to come in and do the Warriors thing, the clinking glasses, that set the tone for the afternoon. And then he had a pair of catches. He had the catch in the flea flicker in the second half. He was an energy guy.
Yeah.
How important are those energy guys, especially in moments like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he is that guy. I mean, other than Steph, who's really taken on that leadership role, I think you can see him being that guy pregame, talking to the team. But we've missed Mack, right? And then I think Josh and Mike, Braves, they must just feel so highly about this kid because he missed a bunch of games and he's back and he's in there and he's got his role, and his role has been incredible this year. It really has been. I think everyone expected him to come in and play special teams and maybe have a little bit of a role on offense and make some catches down the field like he did, in Buffalo. He has taken on much more of a role offensively than I think Josh expected to be, and he has done it so well. So it was great to have him back. I think we missed him. I know the passing game wasn't huge, but he did. He had the flea flicker. I know he caught another pass. It was another third down, I believe, and in the middle of the field. And again, he's so big in the passing game. He's been big in the run game. He's versatile in doing all of those sort of things. The number of packages, right, with him back and personnel groupings, it really does. It opens up the door because he really is like another tight end almost, right? So now are you in 10? Are you in 11 personnel? Are you in 12? Are you in 22? Like, that's tough, right? If you're Josh can label him like, all right, cool. I don't have to go out there with 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends, right? I'm going to go out there with 2 tight ends or Mack Hollins and a fullback, and like it's confusing. It is as a defensive coordinator, and Vance is, he's pretty quick to understand what's going on. So the two of those guys going back and forth. I mean, it's probably a little bit of a chess match going on with all the coordinators. I mean, both teams very well coached, but we didn't put the ball on the ground. We didn't have any turnovers. Denver had a turnover.
Huge turnover. Huge turnover. That was really
the game.
Yeah, this game turned on like 5 plays, and that was one of them. And we need to mention this as well. We have complained about the officiating over the course of this season. Everyone's complained about the NFL officiating over the course of the year. That was a very well officiated game.
It seemed like it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand the ruling on the pass.
The backward. They called it a backward pass. It could have been a fumble.
It looked forwards to me, like he was trying to do the thing,
shoved it out there.
But listen, not my job. So, and we got a call going in our favor, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. If it was the other way, we'd be up in arms and, all pissed off and calling for people's heads, but we're not, because we're going to the Super Bowl, and that was one of the plays that sent us there. I mean, I think Sean's kicking himself a little bit this morning, but he's not a guy that's going to live with regrets. I mean, going for it that early in the game, I think he was trying to, he had an opportunity to go probably up 2 scores, and probably looking for a little momentum. That stadium would have been rocking. I think if we went down 14-0 in the first quarter, I think that would have been a tough game to come back to.
Especially given the weather, and in all of it. I don't fault, if I'm a Denver fan, I'm pissed today, but I think the long term, I could totally see what Peyton was going for there.
Yeah.
14-0 lead in that moment.
14-0? Yeah, with a backup quarterback. I think that just, and like, we will, being down 14-0 obviously changes a lot of things that Josh would have done offensively, but then like, no one had any idea what was coming for us in the third quarter. And if we were forced to put the ball in the air in those type situations, like that's tough sledding, man. And that would have been brutal. But so I thought it was definitely. I listened to he's not a guy that's gonna live with regrets. He knew exactly what he was doing. Mm-hmm. I think it was a ballsy call, but I also think I don't fault him for wanting to go up 2 scores. It just. They had a couple of chances to make field goals too, and they just weren't. I mean, tough conditions, man. Tough conditions for kickers. Tough conditions to play in, and doesn't really matter because we're on to Seattle.
On to Seattle. We're gonna have 2 weeks to talk about that. A Super Bowl 49 rematch. I love that. For me, this game really also, when you kind of break it down. This was not Drake's finest hour, but at the same time, once again, like we saw against the Chargers, like we saw against the Texans, he made the play when he needed to. When he absolutely needed to make the play, running for that first down in the fourth quarter, running for the touchdown early on to get him on the board after they got the short field. Maye ends up 10 for 21, 86 yards, 5 sacks. Now, I know you can appreciate this. I don't know if they mentioned this on the broadcast, but Mack Hollins being out there, Mack Hollins was probably the best helper for Will Campbell.
Yeah.
cracking down on a couple of defensive ends, outside linebackers.
I told you though, they'd have a plan for that.
Yeah. And that's one area where I think that really needs to be noted when you talk about what Mack Hollins brought to the field. And again, we could talk about things that need to get fixed. And I think that Will Campbell's going to have a good 2 weeks to take a look at the Seattle film and maybe, heal up. I wonder if it's the knee. I wonder if it's technique, whatever the case may be. They need to get better out there because when you left the young man on an island, that was a little dicey.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't think Drake's performance over the last couple of weeks has been what we've seen for the majority of the season. But, that game kind of got out of hand weather-wise, and it wasn't going to be anything where we were going to have to force in his hands. He did have 2 hands on the ball when he was running for the first down to seal the deal. So give this kid 2 weeks to prepare for Seattle, and I think that we're going to see something better. It is a little concerning that you have your left tackle out there, trying to cut block guys on the backside. So I think he might be maybe in his head a little bit. I mean, I don't, couldn't really tell you what he's being coached or what's being said and how he feels and still coming off. So give Will a couple of weeks to kind of get himself back too. This is huge, right? The 2 weeks preparation is also, it's kind of like a bye week for guys. You can get guys healthy. Mike obviously is going to do what he thinks is best practice wise, but this is it, right? You want to go into this game feeling the best you can. Although I will say this, we were in 2016 going to play Atlanta. I mean, we were full pads on Wednesday. I mean, we did competition drill outside in the heat. We were one-on-ones, ones versus ones. It was God, I was are we playing a game? I mean, but that was Bill, right? I mean, it was kind of funny. So I got to imagine Mike will do some stuff this week and then, make sure that he's got a healthy team going because so you want your guys to be feeling good. It seems like we've gotten everyone. Landry was a surprise. What happened to Landry?
Yeah, he's been dealing with a knee for the last couple of months. And I wonder, I'm curious about him. Yeah, they missed him, and he didn't play well against the Texans. I think he only played 11 snaps in that game.
So he's been.
And I know that Mike has a deep level of affection for him on a personal level. He's one of his guys. He was literally they signed him in the first week, couple days of free agency.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly a variable guy, and I'm wondering how much variable is kind of dragging him across the finish line here because he has so much respect for him.
Yeah. Give him 2 weeks, right? I mean, listen, this is. I am a firm believer. I've been there before. Let's just kind of put whatever drug you have to put in your body to play in this game, man. You don't get many opportunities to play Super Bowl, so I would be surprised if he missed this one.
What did the Ravens find a couple of years ago? Some deer antler spray.
Yeah, deer antler spray, Toradol, whatever it is. I mean. When the game that we played in the Rams, I think I probably got, and this is for your viewers, I think we're all just pretty football players that just go out there and feel good all the time. I got shot up before the game. I got shot up at halftime, and I got shot up because I had a hip pointer that I really didn't tell many people about. I couldn't even walk going into that game, and but I wasn't gonna miss it, so just. Didn't really feel the right side of my body for probably 2 or 3 days after that as well.
Was that even a question for you in that moment?
No.
Taking the needle in a game of that night?
I did it during practice so I could practice. I
know there's a lot of guys. I'll say this. There's a lot of guys on this roster who are really dinged up. And we referenced Landry. I know that Morgan Moses is dealing with some stuff. And so I wonder how much, what that conversation is like with the team doctor. But at the same time, look, man, it's the Super Bowl. And you guys are you guys are wired differently. That's
it. It's a Super Bowl. Let's do whatever we have to do to get on the field. Doesn't really matter. You're not going to, you have another 3 months to heal up after this game. Right. And to have a lifetime of memories. I mean, this is, so cool. I can't believe that we're going back to the Super Bowl. It's awesome. It really is.
I got a couple more notes. about this the AFC Championship game. They weren't able to. We saw, you said Drake threw for 86 yards. Again, the conditions played a sizable part in that. They ran for 141 yards.
Yeah,
and the ground game and its ability to get the job done in the most important moments, particularly Drake and Ramondre. I joked with Ramondre, and my story is up now at BostonGlobe.com, that he had the greatest performance of any running back who had more than 20 carries and a 2.9, I think, yards per carry average. It was not, the stuff of legend, but at the same time, he did just enough to help move the chains there. He didn't, give up the football.
Nope.
And given the year that he's had, it was a really tremendous performance.
Yeah. But I think we, again, it's just, can't really put a finger on really any sort of plays that happened in this game, just because it really just was kind of a back and forth game offensively. It became a field position battle. Our punters are struggling. They can't kick the ball. Kickers are struggling. Can't make any field goal. So I think, what I saw with Ramondre, he was able to get a lot more positive plays than Denver was able to do on their side of the ball. We were able to move the ball. He had a couple of 8, 9, 10-yard runs, kind of move the chains. And we were just able to do that, I think, a little bit more than Denver was. I mean, our defense was they're good, man. That this group is really good. Like, they played well yesterday. We were in the backfield, like, pushing their offensive line. I got to do my homework on Seattle. I don't know much about them. I know they had some guys, but this group is very, very good. So, hopefully we can have everyone back healthy, but Milton healthy is a problem. He has a problem to deal with. Tonga healthy is a problem. Like, these guys are brutal on the inside. So, good problem, good issues to have for us, and our secondary, is playing well. They're playing well, right? I think that we have we're going to have a tall order for Christian. I would love to see that. I really would. I don't know. Him to follow around Jackson. I don't know if you watched him. Did you watch the game last night?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, we know where the ball is going, right? And the kid still ends up with 11 catches and 160 yards and a touch. Like, it's kind of like one of those. It's like it very much reminds me of Atlanta, where they had Julio Jones. It's like, all right, Julio's getting the ball. He's going to get 14 targets a game, and he still ends up with 13 catches. And it's like, it's kind of one of those situations. So, and Sam Darnold, how about that too?
That's the most amazing thing. That's the most amazing thing, to see a guy like Darnold reach the Super Bowl. And look, we shouldn't be surprised, because he's really good at playing complementary football. He settled in nicely after that rocky start to his career, and he's taking what other teams give him. He's getting some short fields, and he's getting it done.
Yeah, he's got some guys around him, right? And defense, and they're being well coached, but it's gonna be a good game. But we can talk about that at another, next week. We have couple weeks here to start talking about Super Bowl. Like, come on.
I heard someone say that JSN is who Marvin Harrison should have been.
Yeah,
and look, we're going to talk about this a lot over the next couple weeks. You and I, especially from I'm really curious. You as a wide receiver, what stands out about him, and we're going to talk more about that. But just like you said, the big takeaway for him with me is just like you said, where the ball's going, and you can't stop it. Still can't stop it. It's like vintage. The body type is different, but it's vintage Randy Moss kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Who's getting the ball, but you still can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Impressive. Very, very impressive. Well, here, let's go back and revisit this. The point spread, according to our friends at FanDuel, in the AFC Championship game was 5.5. So the Patriots did not cover. Although it moved over the course of the week. I think the last line was 3.5, but even so, Patriots won by 3. The over-under was 41.5. Obviously, we told you to take the under. If you took the under, you cashed in. So we split on that. You picked the Rams.
I know.
I went back and listened. You picked the Rams. So we split. I took the Seahawks. I went 2-0 this past week. You picked the Rams. You went 1-1. Going into the Super Bowl, And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about this over the course of the next couple of weeks. The opening line, Seattle's a 4.5-point favorite, and the number is 46.5. I'm not going to make a prediction at this point, but you know what?
It's going to change.
It's going to change.
It changes like 20 times leading up to the game.
Yeah, because inevitably, honestly, the way the Patriots' luck is going, JSN's going to fall down a flight of stairs tomorrow and break his leg. And look, and we've joked about this before. To get to 17-3 and to win the AFC Championship, you need to be good.
You need a little bit of luck.
You need a little bit of luck, and they've had a little bit of luck. And look, that's okay.
Yes,
it's okay
it absolutely is okay. Absolutely.
This team has gotten a little bit lucky.
It's okay. Luck is fine. And everyone else that's hating out there is going to be like, oh, well, luck, they're not that good. Well, guess what? We're playing. You're not. We are that good. Our defense is that good. Our quarterback and the guys around him are that good. Our coaching staff is that good. For all of you guys that are out there searching for head coaches, we are that good, and we're going to be that good probably for the Pats are back, man. They're back. The Bills, Terry Pagula, if you're listening, bro, you got rid of your head coach, and now your kid's going to be a dumpster fire over there again for another couple of years. It's not going to be good. I'm sorry, Bills. And I know that you probably feel the same way about me or about what's going on in Buffalo, but the Pats are back, and the AFC will be in Foxborough for the next couple of years or forever. I don't know. We could talk about that too, but we're going to Super Bowl, man. This is great. And it's tough for the MVP battle. I don't know when they have to make that decision because you just haven't really seen Drake's best performances. And I know Stafford went out there and threw for almost 400 yards. And,
Well, I'll say this. The nice thing is it bookends the regular season. And so these performances don't figure into the conversation.
Yeah, but they should. A little bit, this is where you count on your best players, right? I mean, this is like MVP type stuff. It's like, all right, MVP candidate who effectively changes the game every single week. And here, I know like we're a little bit biased, Patriot Report, we want our guy to win MVP, but when you go down the list, right, of all the MVP guys, who effectively, if he's not on the field, changes the game? Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion, and I know it's my guy. I'm a little biased, but is Jimmy Garoppolo going to be able to go out there and do what Matthew Stafford does and throw the ball to Puka Nacua? Yeah, probably. Right? Who's our backup? Oh, Tommy DeVito? Is that our backup?
Josh Dobbs.
Oh, Dobbs. Yeah, Dobbs. I don't know. Like, is Josh McDaniels going to be able to get it there with Dobbs? Like, maybe. I don't know. Christian McCaffrey not in the game really changes a lot of things, and he's getting catches. I mean, what he's been able to do when he's healthy is pretty good. I don't think anyone has been able to do it in quite some time in the National Football League. Catching, receiving, touchdowns, running. I mean, I don't know. He's going to win one of those. Comeback Player of the Year.
He should.
Offense. He's going to win one of them. Yeah,
he should. He's also in. Look, we're talking about
Steph should be up there as well.
He's split. He's in the mix for Comeback Player of the Year. Vrabel is obviously in the mix for Coach of the Year.
Well, he has to win.
I think Josh McDaniels is also
Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. But this also now that this team is standing on the cusp of the Super Bowl, this brings up another discussion about the MVP and how the MVP very rarely wins the Super Bowl. Do not want it.
Yeah.
Of course. No, I shouldn't say that. Of course you want it. Of course you want to win the Super Bowl. I mean, because Mahomes did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah. No, we want to win. All right. You can take this one, Matthew, because you don't have so many years left in you. Well, Drake's got plenty of years to win MVP. You have this one. Let's get a ring here for this kid. Yeah. Although I will say that I think Steph for Comeback Player of the Year, I could see him winning that for sure.
It's a really good conversation to have, though.
Yeah.
Given I know your feelings toward Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but give him Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know, but there's a lot. listen, there's a lot of performances out there from guys this year that are, it could really go to any, there's not one guy listed in all of those categories who'd be like, oh, he didn't deserve it. Like every single one of those guys listed all deserve an award. Christian coming back and his performance on offense, Steph coming back off of ACL and what he's been able to do. Jackson Smith, obviously, for Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, he's been able to he's played incredible this year. I mean, all the MVP guys. I mean, it really is, man. It's all, there's been some singular performances this year from all these guys they all are well deserving of awards. Mike, obviously coaching, Josh. I wouldn't be surprised if one of our guys wins something. But it doesn't matter. We're not going to be there. We'll accept it on Zoom or FaceTime or whatever, because we're going to be preparing for a Super Bowl. Sorry.
Before we look ahead too much, I have one more thing I wanted to get your take on. You mentioned the Bills and you mentioned Terry Pagula and that absolutely train wreck of a press conference. Yeah. And now we understand, now it's, and this came out a couple of days ago, Phillip Rivers is a very serious candidate, according to insiders, for the Buffalo Bills head coaching job.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Maybe he's in some trouble somewhere, like Pagula. We're behind on payments for the new stadium, or I don't understand how an owner of the team gets up and first of all throws a player onto the bus like that. I mean, what kind of culture are you creating or trying to create by getting rid of the head coach that changed the program around and everyone loves, and then you get up at the end of the year press conference and first of all, why are you there? Get out, like you shouldn't be there, right? Talking about football that you don't know anything about. So you should be there. Let your president or GM or whoever, whatever you've made, whatever title you've given this guy who is so salty and because your head coach said he didn't have a good enough roster to win football games, so we're just going to get rid of him and you're going to bring in Phillip Rivers, who's coaching high school football? Like, come on, guy. Like, what are we talking about here? Is this real? Like, and you think that's going to be the answer? So, like, it just... If I'm a Buffalo fan, I mean, I know they there's like thousands of people signing a petition to bring McDermott back. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. But these are the guys that are making decisions in the NFL, and it just blows my mind. Like, here, throw my name in the mix. I'll go up there and be head coach. I'll listen to you guys, and I can get it going. Let's go.
It feels like a Jeff Saturday kind of a deal. Remember what happened to Jeff Saturday?
Yeah. How'd that work out for them?
Not great. Not great. Not great.
Listen, I love Phillip Rivers, and I think that he'd be able to do at some point, if that's what he wanted to do, is be a head coach in this league or be a coach in this league. I'm sure that he absolutely could be a good head coach. Absolutely. But to come in and do it right away and try to win in the NFL, like, it's very, very hard. And guess what, Terry Pagula, your roster isn't good enough. You don't have good enough players. Just because you have Josh Allen and maybe a couple other guys, like, that doesn't just get it done, man. Like, you need to have a good roster. Guy, you're going to have to get more skill positions. Your defense is going to have to get better. Like, there's a lot of things that roster could do better. And, like, yeah, then they could probably get back to winning. But guess what? You got rid of the guy that got you there. He's probably going to take with him a handful of guys that were coaching staff that was on that team that helped create that winning atmosphere. It's like, dude, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Like, I just blows my mind. It really does. I mean, fortunate enough, man, that we have Mr. Kraft and the Kraft family to be able to do what he does. And you don't see him in the press conference talking about football, do you? Ever? No. He'll be there every once in a while, but like, he's never talking about it.
He did once last offseason. He was there last offseason
Sure.
when they were making the coaching change. He did give a press conference, but it was.
But he's not talking about the roster, or he's not talking about players. He's not doing that, right? He's going to answer questions. Go ahead.
No, one of my colleagues remarked that Terry Pagula saw what Steve Bisciotti did in Baltimore and said, okay, let me do that poorly. Steve Bisciotti came out and had a really good, smart, thoughtful, insightful press conference where he kind of steered away from talking too much about personnel. And he basically look, I'm the owner here. I'm making decisions on this level. I'm going to make the guys in this level, make the personnel moves.
Yeah. And he kept it it was all nothing but respect, right? It was all about Harbaugh and what he's meant to the city and to this organization, what he's been able to do. And it's I'm just taking upon myself. I'm good with listen, I don't understand why they got rid of him, but I'm okay with that and how that was handled. We weren't throwing guys. We're not throwing Lamar Jackson underneath the bus or Derrick Henry or any of the guys that we brought in. We're not throwing players under the bus and saying, I don't have a good enough roster. It's okay. I'm the owner. We're going to make a change, right? This is but nothing but respect for Harbaugh and what he's been able to do. And, he's like family and all this kind of stuff. And whoever gets him is going to be very fortunate and lucky to have such a great head coach. I mean, yeah. So you're right. We took that script and we said, all right, let's do the opposite.
What's the 180 there?
How do I make this look as bad as possible? It's crazy, man. It really is. It's
we are entering a strange new world where Drake Maye is getting to a Super Bowl before Josh Allen is.
Great. Yeah.
Which is remarkable to me.
Yeah, it is.
I never would have thought that would have been possible. I don't think anyone outside the walls of Gillette Stadium would have thought that would have been possible over the last couple of years. I want to get two more quick things here before we wrap up. What needs to get fixed for this team in the next 2 weeks? What are the most important things from a personnel perspective, from a scheme perspective, from a technique perspective that you want to see them work on? I know we talked a little bit about the offensive line. Is there anything else across the board that stands out for you where you say, look, they really got to tighten the screws here if they're going to have a chance of winning this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got nothing for you on defense because these guys are playing really good football. Offensively, I think I'd like to see a little bit. I think the sense of urgency. I think we seem a little flat. Last couple of weeks, we've seemed a little flat. If I'm going to just call a spade here, I think Drake has seemed a little flat. And I'm not going to talk about this game because there's really nothing to talk about. We couldn't do anything offensively because of the weather. But last game, right? Ball's on the ground a lot. I think everyone seems a little flat. So I think that if we're going to come out in this game, I'd like to see a little bit of energy, right? I'd like to see ball out of Drake's hands and get it to Steph, right? Get it to Mack, get it to our playmakers, let them make some play, get some stuff going here. It seems we kind of started this game the way that I expected it to start, right? It's like, all right, run. And then Drake, the first third down, right? He threw a ball into try to fit one into Steph. But it was uncharacteristic, right? He hasn't done much of that this game, this season, where he's throwing a ball and Steph's got three guys around him and he's trying to fit something. There's some uncharacteristic things that are our offense or Drake has been doing the last couple of games that he hasn't done all year round, right? So, listen, it's a long season, right? It's sometimes that mental wear and tear, physical, it wears on you, man. It's a lot to deal with. So I think Josh has been here before. If you want anyone to get you prepared for a Super Bowl, it's Josh McDaniels, right? And Braves has been there before too. He's played in these games. He knows exactly what to say and how to get this team ready. So I think offensively, the energy, the sense of urgency, and again, let's go, right? I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait because if we wait, this Seattle team is too good, right? This is not a Denver Broncos Jarrett Stidham type situation. This team put up 31 points last night. I think they're probably averaging top 5 offenses in the league this year and in points scored. We can't wait. We can't wait around and be like, okay, let's kick a field goal here or we'll get going here. It's going to be 20-0 before you even know. Well, I won't say that because our defense is damn good and we're not going to just give up 30 points just like that. But they got some guys, right? So let's go. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk about personnel. Listen, Will Campbell's going to get it together. Our guys are going to get it together. This will be we'll be well prepared, well coached, and we'll go into with a good game plan. But I think that it's like, I'm like, let's go. Come on. Max walking in with his bottle clinking, right? Like, get everyone some bottles, right? No shoes, bottles. Let's just get Mack. Just lead. I want you to lead everyone to, let's put a little, like, some war paint on, do whatever you guys got to do, and let's go.
Get the Warriors jackets.
Yeah, get the jackets.
Get the jackets, the whole bit.
Yeah, the whole bit. Let's go.
The best part of the video of Mack walking in with the glasses clinking, if you look in the background, Borregales is trying and failing not to laugh. Walking next to him, like, because he's been such a great part. And we'll talk more about this. We've talked a lot about Mack this year. We talked a lot about Mack today, but he's been such an important part of this team, and he's going to be more important. Like you said, from an energy perspective, he's going to be vital to what they want to get done. Last question for me today: what's the most important thing as a player you need to do over these next 2, 3, 4 games before you get on that plane to the Super Bowl? 2, 3, 4 days. I'm sorry.
I think you need to get your affairs in order, right? And I remember going into that team meeting room, and you get this big packet, today, and it's a lot. A lot gets thrown at you. You have this many tickets. You can get. If you want tickets, you can ask guys for tickets, and they have to transfer them to you, and you got to do this and that. And here's the hotel information. This is where your family can stay. This is where your friends can stay. This is where we're staying. It's a lot, right? So I think for a majority of this team that hasn't been there before, take the day, right? We do. We have 2 weeks to prepare for this team. Okay, you're not going to do it in one day. Get familiar. You can start watching film, but take a day, take 2 days, right? All right, this is where you're going. Here are the tickets. I'm going to have them. You're going to meet me here, this is where my family's staying. You're going to, I don't know, Kraft used to let the family go on the team plane if they were flying down or doing like whatever. So this is where we're flying out of, or this is where you're flying out of. And then after that, don't call me, right? Because get all that taken care of, because it's a lot, right? You're going to be able to prepare in New England for a few days, but then you got to go out there, right? And then there's media days, there's media requests, there's, you're in a hotel, you're not, it's a different environment that you're really not used to. You don't have the same setup for watching film or doing all this. So you want to get all of that taken care of so that you're able to focus as much as you can and prepare as best you can given the environment that you're going to be in, right? There's a lot of excitement, a lot of, guys are going to be anxious, people are going to be do this, do that, there's people everywhere, there's Super Bowl, it's crazy, man. What a double-edged sword, right? It's like, God, how excited is all those guys going to be there? You get your big swag bag from Nike or whatever, whatever it is, and you got all the new Super Bowl stuff with the logo. It's super exciting, man. But you're still there to play football, right? And this is the biggest game of your lives, and you never know if you're going to be able to get back to this point. So put everything you have into it, right? And take care of everything you need to take care of so that you can go put on the performance of a lifetime.
2 weeks, Patriots-Seahawks, Super Bowl 60.
Rematch.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting. This is going to be on a personal level. I can't quite believe it myself. This is going to be the 10th Super Bowl that I will be in attendance for.
Tough
yeah. As a 22-year-old college kid, if you had told me that I would reach a point where I'd covered 10 Super Bowls in my entire life, I would have thought you're crazy. But here we are, once again, back at the Super Bowl. It's going to be a fun 2 weeks. Chris, we're going to talk, I believe, multiple times over the course of the next couple of weeks. But I am heading out there. I'm in Denver now, but I'm heading home, hopefully, tomorrow. We're recording this Monday morning. Hopefully. If things clear up, I'm going to be heading home tomorrow and then flying out to San Francisco next Sunday. So
awesome.
We will be on the ground in San Francisco, bringing you everything that there is to bring you in for a big event like this. Make sure you check out all our coverage in the Boston Globe and bostonglobe.com. In the meantime, Chris Hogan, thank you very much, my friend. Take care, and we'll talk again very soon.
Safe travels home. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Or maybe you're renting a car and you're trekking across the country. At this point, you might as well just keep heading west and go.
Exactly. Just sail on.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, and we can share a story next time. I have my own travel story for you next time about coming back home after the 2018 AFC Championship game.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that. That was a fun time. We will talk again. We will talk again sooner rather than later. Take care.
All right, brother. Have a good one.